esteemed Congresswoman has just arrived, and I get goosebumps when I see her on CNN and MSNBC, and also throughout the Caribbean American, African American community and minority communities, advocating for all of us in the 11th Congressional District. And when Michael mentioned 29 years ago, Commissioner, I sat back and said, my God, it's that long. So we are very happy that she's here. She's our honorary co-chair. She's not only a congresswoman, she's our dear friend. And I must say that I had a little to do with her mentoring, including with Mr. and Mrs. Clarke, the esteemed council member emeritus, her mom and her dad, who are neighbors of ours. So we are so happy whenever she walks into the room, we have to stand, please stand, and give her a round of applause. You don't realize how powerful she is because she's a trustee of this federal government. And it's Congress that make the laws and spend the budget. So we're glad that she took some time off to be with it this morning. Let me apologize for the start. And you might say, well, I'm always here on time. But what happened, I had a major setback with my arthritis a few weeks ago. So today's my first official act I'm getting here. So it was not that easy. But God is good all the time. It's all having that mental attitude that you're going to do whatever you have to do. All right, so we're thankful. And to have friends like my brother who is walking in, he asked us not to mention that he is Michael Jones. He is the first African American borough president in this great borough. But it's a pleasure working with him. I have not heard from him in a few weeks, and he did not know I wasn't well. So that's breaking news for him. But we're glad to be hosted by my friend for over 2.5 decades, similar to Yvette Clarke. So I want to thank the Honorable Eric Adams for his friendship and leadership and his stewardship as borough president. As we usually say within CACCI, networking works. This is not a funeral this morning. This is a time to network, to collaborate, to make sure that the things that all of us have worked on for over 2 decades have been able to gel in reference to the Caribbean, the African American community. But one thing I would like to mention to you that we have not been able to achieve 29 years without very good partners. Partners from ESD, Empire State Development, Empire State Development Delegation. Could you all please stand? Respect. Okay, very good. These are individuals some I've known for quite a long time. And it's good to see Leonard Ruiz, who is here with us, and Claire, and many others who we've worked with over the years. Also want to recognize my good friend who talks to me almost every 4 days, who is from Motherland, Haiti, and he's here with us, Jackson from HAPNET, Haitian American Chamber of Commerce. From the Netherlands Antilles, we have Mr. Lou Peters, who is here right from the Netherlands Antilles today, and also Mr. William Lake. I want to thank him for being part of that delegation. I also want to thank Mr. Marvin Lieberman, who is with SCORE. I want to thank him, a long-term partner of the Chamber. We also would like to recognize the daughter of the daughter of Malcolm X and Betty Chavez, Malak Chavez. I also want to thank our board members who are here with us this morning, our dynamic team who are here from since 8 o'clock, and I want to also recognize Mr. Adrian Peters, who is an incoming board member and a banker with, which bank are you with again, Adrian? New York Community Bank, who hails from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We want to thank him for accepting. We also have Ambassador Ernst Ulysses, who is also from Haiti. He's a tech consultant with the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Andrew Klutz, is he here? Okay, Andrew, thank you for coming. Okay, he represents ESC. Okay, so give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much so far. We do hope that we'll have a very thought-provoking event. And I'm sorry I don't recognize representing the Comptroller of the State of New York, Danielle Jones. Okay? And Danielle is working with us to make sure that we have the state pension funds invested in the Caribbean. And that is also history. I want to thank Tom for his hard work. And we can only do it together with our elected officials, with our Caribbean diaspora leaders, African American leaders, and of course you, joining forces to make sure that we realize our dreams. I'll be talking later about the proposed development of our trade center, and I want to thank our leadership for also helping us. At this time, I would like to bring to the microphone my good friend and brother and leader of this great borough of 2.5 million people, the Honorable, distinguished Honorable Eric Adams.
Good to see Dr. Hasek and his wife here again in this place that we call the People's House. You know, I have my own home, so this is not my home. This belongs to the people of the borough of Brooklyn. And if you spend some time here in the last few months, you'll realize it's bubbling with energy. Every room of the Borough Hall, there are various programs, and there's a great level of access that we are happy to allow people to come in. It is my goal to have every Brooklynite pass through here and have experiences and moments that they can reflect on as they go through their day. I just find it extremely dismaying that as people go and visit some of the local businesses and governmental agencies downtown, that they have no clear indication that Borough Hall exists. And this is where their tax dollars are paid for. And so I thank CACCI. Roy has been saying for years how important it is for us not only to invest in the Caribbean diaspora, but also how do we continue to have our dollars circulate. And he has been on the modern day Paul Revere, you know, sounding the alarm that it is time to invest, particularly here in the borough of Brooklyn, where you see Brooklyn is no longer 2.5 million people. The report was released today. We have the largest increase in people who are visiting and living in Brooklyn. And so we need to take advantage of that. I am going to step aside, but I just want to acknowledge our Congresswoman. You know, often you see things that take place in Washington, and I don't know how she does it with the hectic schedule of being in D.C., but you still have to just deal with the constituent issues in your congressional district. Congressional district across a large geographical span. And Congresswoman Clarke takes the time to balance both those obligations and responsibility. When you see all of these great things coming from Washington, the hundreds of millions of dollars that's going to boiler repair that Charles Schumer announced, the ability to get the Medicaid waiver to save our hospitals from Lynch to Interfaith to Downstate and so many other hospitals. When you see the passage of Obamacare so that every American can have the right to have health care, when you see the countless number of things that are happening in Washington, D.C., you often see the person who's making the announcement. You see the person who has the star on the door, the main character in the real-life drama that's taking place on the political stage of our history. But the reality is the countless number of congressional men and women as part of the New York delegation that leads the way. And it's hard to believe that she's inching up to becoming a senior member of the New York delegation. And the more she climbs the ladder, the more she'll be able to bring even more resources to the borough. So, Brooklyn, raised as a councilwoman, a mother, what she has contributed, and it's a continuation of a legacy. And we often see that in other communities, how you see the legacy just continue, a seamless transition from one great leader to another great leader so that we can continue to move forward. Oftentimes, we kill those legacies and all that historical information and knowledge that allows you to navigate the challenges and complexity of Washington. Washington is a complex place. And if you have to start anew each time you arrive, you would never be able to bring the resources to your district. And so Congresswoman Clarke just has done an amazing job and taken over from the seat that was once held by the great Shirley Chisholm. Congresswoman Clarke is making her own mark on the district. And so, we're just glad that she's in Washington. We need to keep her in our prayers, give her the support she needs so she can do the job that she's doing. And, from some time, I think you're in D.C. now 4 or 5 days a week. Right. So if she's not at every event you have, every ribbon cutting you have, understand that she's doing what she was hired by the people to do, and that is to watch our interests on the national and international scale and international level. So I thank you. Borough Hall is your home. Use this space. Come in, hold your meetings, your events here. We have a community room. We have the rotunda. We have the courtroom. We can't allow this place just to be some distant location where we have marble floors and wooden walls and no one is coming in and experiencing it in a very real way. When we finish in 4 years, this place needs to be worn out. The carpet should be worn out, the walls should be worn out. We should do all that we can to make sure we got full use of this building and that we got our taxpayers' dollars what is responsible for. So thank you very much. Enjoy the morning, and I look forward to future events with CACCI. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's awesome.